Hey guys, I'm Filter CC, where I'm all about grit, grind, and greatness. So, my words for you, words of wisdom for you today is understanding the power to not care what people think. How powerful is that? The weight that it holds. Y'all, if I want to say one of the most powerful tools or skill is to not care what people think. Having the ability. And you know what? This is what I'm going to tell you. A lot of people say, well, how do you level up? How do you get to that? God will take you through different developmental stages to help you learn to not care less and less about what people think. Here's the thing. You're limited with your greatness when you care about what people think. You're limited. So understanding that you are limited to your greatness when you care what people think. Now, there's a healthy care, okay? And this is what I mean by that. As long as you are not causing any harm. Now, I'm not talking about you being yourself and somebody else getting offended. Because you walking in your greatness sometimes will just offend people. You get what I'm saying? You minding your own business, you shining, you grinding, you handling your business, leveling up. We're not talking about that. But as long as you are not causing any harm to anyone else in any way, which goes against anyway my beliefs regardless, right? That goes against, because I'm all about peace and protecting my peace. I'm gonna say that again. I'm all about peace and protecting my peace. But yeah, God, this is one thing that helped me. I have a rare digestive issue, and that really caused me to not care about what people think. God will allow certain things to happen in your life for you not to care. It's like he'll force you to level up. You get what I'm saying? Like he'll put you in certain situations to where you have no other choice but to level up with not caring what people think. Anytime it's hindering you, it's holding you back, it will hold you back. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you should never care. This is when you know you got to level up in that area. You got to level up in that area anytime it is crippling you and holding you back from your greatness. When it's on that level, seek. Well, for one, for me, I saw prayer. I saw God about it. You know what I'm saying? But another thing, if you don't want to go, if that's not you, you seek personal development. Okay? You learn from the greats how to not care what people think. And that's going to first come with your core. You caring about yourself. You loving yourself. You speaking your daily affirmations. You going like learning self, learning how to sit with self, learning you. Like as most people, a lot of people don't want to be by themselves. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to sit with self, even just to level up. You get what I'm saying? Like you got to learn to sit with self. So I just say get quiet and sit with self. Another thing, I got a video all about how and when to clap back like a boss. And also, I got a video about how to make friends. You know, making friends in a healthy way in 2023. And that video actually is very relevant for millennials and Gen Zers and really any and everybody else in between. So yeah, check out both of those videos. How and when to clap back, and also how to make friends. It is look like it's about to rain. So, and the rain is definitely coming. We don't have, it's going to be rainy this week. So, also too, like, understand this. I ain't never had to try to keep up with the Joneses, because some of the smartest people, if you smart enough, the Joneses would try to keep up with you. Like, understand that. Understand, like, I always know that you bringing something to the room. You bringing something to the table. I understood that when I was, 14 and 15. Because even, I used to, even like if I was around, very privileged people, XYZ, I understood that you can't, that grit and that grind, that come from the struggle. that grit and that grind that come from the struggle. So know what you bring to the table. Just know what you bring to the table. And I'm gonna be honest, man, like that personal development, see that personal development that's in there, that everything that you learn, that's why I said use your struggle to help you level up. Because once you do that, like, it's a wrap. Basically, it's a wrap. Use your struggle to help you level up, period. Learn every skill. That's what I always say. I heard E.T. was talking about how never to let a crisis go to waste. I say this, I made several videos talking about not coming out empty-handed. But basically what I mean by that is when you go through a struggle, basically I came out with a book. I published my book. You know what I'm saying? That's a great example. If you want me to give you a specific example, that's a good example. But just not coming out empty-handed, or start a podcast, or start your YouTube video. Like, you're not going through your struggle for nothing. You're not going to go through your struggle for nothing. And it may not even happen. Like, keep speaking it until it happens. Keep taking action. Keep taking steps daily, and it is going to come forth. Like, it's a done deal. Staying true to your budget and not trying to keep up with the Joneses when it comes to material things. You know what I'm saying? Understand, like I was saying, some of the wisest people are like not maybe the sharpest dressers. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of the wisest people, they're not driving a Tesla. You know what I'm saying? Like, so those things is not really getting caught up in the physical, not getting caught up in all the stuff. All of the outside show, all of the outside. That's why I've been talking about not being showy, not being flashy, not trying to show you everything to prove anything. Because when you understand, those things can't help people when they're going through. Like, showing you a Tesla can't help anyone go through when they're going through major challenges. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it twice. Only supermodels, right? Some of the most highest paid, highest skilled supermodels have said this multiple times, right? And I'll even shout out Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks even, not verbatim, but have said supermodels only don't wear things twice, right? Unless you're a supermodel, you should be wearing your clothes more than one time. You know what I'm saying? Unless you are a paid model, unless you are a paid influencer where people send you tons and tons of outfits and clothes, you should be wearing your stuff twice. You shouldn't just be going around wearing things one time to try to keep up with the Joneses. Like, stay true to your budget. Stay true to yourself. Stay true to your budget. Clothes are meant to be worn twice. And there's so many ways that you could create a wardrobe to create to where you will have a big variety. What exercise can you do consistently and steady? Steady, slowly, progressively. It ain't always about, people just automatically look at me and think, oh, well, she can just go do the most. I keep it simple with my exercise. I don't really have a point to prove with anybody, and I suggest you to do the same. Stay true to yourself. Find what works out for you. Like, if you like music and you like dancing, Zumba. It's so many workout classes. They got so many workout classes. Even just how things are done with working out have changed. You got so many options online now. If you don't really like the gym, if you like being out in nature. I made a video the other week talking about if you are struggling to get outside and work out, not even just get outside, but you are struggling to work out because you are too worried about your weight, you're too worried about people staring at you, I'm going to suggest outside. Start with outside. For one, it's a way more chill environment. Two, more than likely, if you're working out in the summertime, you're going to get natural sunlight, you're going to get fresh air. So start out that way. Like, start out outside. Get your sunglasses on. It's just way more chill than in the gym. A lot of people don't like going to the gym or starting out in the gym, especially if they are like a certain size. I talked about how to overcome people, staring at you, or you feeling like they are because of your size. And that goes back to, at some point, you're going to have to learn how to not care what people think. And all of that, I said the core of not caring about what people think is self-love. Like, ask God to show you how to love yourself, teach you how to love yourself. Because when you do, you don't love yourself. When you love yourself to a certain degree, and when you see your value in yourself, you're not going to care, because you already don't know. You're not going to need any outside validation. You don't love yourself, and you ain't going to allow anybody to love you less. Like, you set the standard for yourself. That's what I always tell people. You set the standard for yourself for how people need to treat you. People say it all the time. Set the standard. Set the standard for yourself. I'm going to say one of my quotes. One of my quotes, this is not in my book, but this is one of my quotes. She leads effortlessly because of the standards she lives by. She leads effortlessly because of the standards she lives by. Create your standards. Create your standards. If you have a problem with that, ask God to help you establish your standards. And for me, y'all know where my standards come from, the book of Proverbs, honey. That's a big bulk of it. That's a big bulk of it. I'm really shouting out the book of Proverbs. Like, really, because that's where most of my wisdom come from. That's where a lot of it come from. And it's the word. It's tried and true. And I know it'll always be evergreen, right? It was before me, and it'll still be after me. It's evergreen. I know I posted a lot of videos with different, books and financial literacy, resources. But I always want to say I never had a poverty mentality. I never had a poverty mentality. It's so many things that just confirmed that and showed me that. And even when I started learning from the top financial advisors, the top financial educators and investors, they confirmed it. And I just want to tell you, you can have a millionaire mindset living or currently making less than $50K a year. I'm going to say it again. Or for some people, if you're in college, the mindset is there. Just understand the mindset, that combined with the grind, it's going to yield. It's going to yield. At the right time, it's going to yield. So, I never had a poverty mindset. Y'all, not to say that in a braggish way or anything, but yeah, I bought my first home before I was 20 years old. When I was 18 years old, I bought my first savings bonds. My mind was already thinking about ownership and things like when I was 15 and 16 years old, So I knew that that's what it was going to take for me to be financially literate, and not to live to try to impress the Joneses and not to try to live for other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, stay true to yourself. Stay true to your budget. Look up on YouTube. I ain't even gonna try to touch that, but it's so many people dominating on YouTube that will show you how to create a wardrobe where you can get that's most versatile. That's most versatile. How to pick the right shirts. I always love a good button-down shirt. How to get the right jackets, the right accessories to make your clothes seem to get multiple outfits from your clothes. I'm getting these videos in, but I need to be walking because the rain is coming, girl. The rain is coming. You let them make this content, but this rain is coming. So which one we gonna do? We gonna get this exercise, or we gonna make these videos? We be trying to do both. We be trying to combine, we be thinking outside the box. But I was hearing E.T. that was saying, one of the top motivational speakers of our time, Eric Thomas, talking about it's the anointing that makes the difference. I talked about how all of the greats, they acknowledge God. They acknowledge God on some level Whether they verbally talk about God all the time, most of them, they live the life, you know? Like, they're not trying to convince, they're not trying to convert, they just live the life. And you always ask them, how are they so great? It's because of God. They always go back to God. Not to say that every single but the people that I follow, some of the greats of our time, that's the common denominator. Like, it's God. So, and to add to that, it's the anointing. It's the anointing. How do you get the anointing, CC? You gotta know him. You gotta know him. You gotta spend time with him. You gotta see God through your most challenging times. That's when the anointing comes. All right. Not trying to force anything, but as for me, this is how I roll. This is how I get down with the get down. I thought this rain was gonna be coming. I feel so good today. I feel so good in my spirit. Gratefulness, y'all. Gratefulness. You gotta learn to be grateful before the blessing even get here. Before the next and the next and the next. Are you grateful for all the thousands of prayers that he's already answered? Are you grateful for that? Let's be grateful for that. I remember one year in my 20s, I said, God, that whole year I tried to not ask for any other material thing for a year. I intentionally did that because I said, you know what, I want to develop a grateful heart. That was how I developed a grateful heart. I intentionally didn't ask for a material item for a year. And I said, God, I'm finna start praising you for everything that you've already done. I'm finna remain grateful for everything that you've already done, everything that you've already given me. Hey guys, a few more words of wisdom. Stop treating skinny people like they're better than you. I see it all the time. I've been a slim person my whole life, okay? We're not better than you, okay? We're not better than you. Some of these things are genetic. Stop looking at a slim person and thinking, oh, she thinks she all that, and she just, no, honey, you don't know what that person dealing with. I have a digestive issue, okay? How my body, I ain't gonna get into detail, but that's a large part of why I am slim, okay? That's a large part of it. My genetics, a lot of different things, right? So don't just automatically think. Don't treat them like they're better than you. They're not better than you. We not better than you. But yeah, don't tolerate a level of disrespect from somebody because they skinnier than you are. Because they skinnier than you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, self-love, man. I don't care if you 2X, 3X. Love yourself. Love yourself. And don't, if you want to allow it, somebody to say a comment, and now I got a whole video on how to clap back, but if you want to allow somebody that you know, that you comfortable with to say a comment like that, don't allow somebody else to say a comment like that just because they're slimmer than you. You know what I'm saying? That goes back to self-esteem. Now, some things you do got to ignore. That's why I said check out my other video, how and when to clap back. But they not better than you. Don't even treat anybody because they're slimmer or because they have a higher Ivy League education. My degree just as good as your degree.